The next book is Destined, which is the 9th House of Night book, and of course I had to read this, and I read this in one sitting. My overall thought for the book is that I think with the House of Night, out of the 9 books, there are some books that are good standalone stories. The book in and of itself is a great book if you hadn't have read any of the other ones and you were just blessed with the knowledge of what had happened in the previous books. You would feel like you got your fill in one book. And then there are other books in the series that I feel like are just filler books. They kind of are the stepping stone between 2 separate storylines, and I did feel in a way that this was a stepping stone book for the next book. I think that the 10th House of Night book is going to be really, really good, and I feel like this book was almost setting up the story for the next book throughout the entire book. That being said, I really, really enjoyed it. Basically, Zoe comes back to the House of Night and she breaks off and makes her own House of Night, which is kind of interesting because the Vampire High Council actually allows it, and that's something that was unexpected in this book, and she didn't really plan it. She just kind of was like, I'm gonna make my own House of Night and not have to be under the rule of Neferet, because she's of course evil and she's consorting with the White Bull, and I think they're actually lovers, which brings in a whole storyline of bestiology or whatever that's called. I don't even know the word, but it's a little unnerving, and I think it's supposed to be, because I think it's supposed to make you uncomfortable with the character of Neferet. I think you're supposed to kind of feel like she's this super dark, wrong, sinful creature, and so they kind of want to almost gross you out and make you feel like she's not human, which she's not at this point. She feels like she's a goddess or a vampire queen, and she's just trying to have all this power, and she thinks she has power with the White Bull, but she really doesn't. And the White Bull gives her Aurox, I think that's how you pronounce it, A-U-R-O-X, which actually is Heath. And if you've read the book before this one, you know that Heath made the decision in the other world to come back and help Zoe, and he ends up being put in this super jaw-droppingly gorgeous body, and he is Neferet's little helper. He's supposed to be a weapon of chaos. He's supposed to be the type of thing that has a ton of strength. When he gets really angry, he feeds off of fear around him, and he actually turns into a bull. He's kind of a scary creature, and you don't realize he's Heath, I don't think, until a little way into the book, but you do realize he's Heath way before Zoe realizes. And actually there's a lot of leading up to it. If you're good at picking up little details in books, there's definitely a lot of hints where Zoe will be like, we made eye contact and I just felt like I knew him, I could peer into his soul. Well, duh, because it's Heath. There were just, and he has Heath's eyes. I just feel like there were certain things where I was like, I wanted to slap Zoe and be like, are you dumb? How do you not see this? But at the end, she does realize that it's Heath, and she tries to protect him from her circle. But I don't think her circle, even at the end, I don't think they believe her, or maybe she hasn't told them yet. I don't know why I don't remember the very end of books. I'll remember the whole story until the last chapter, and I think the reason that happens is because I imagine in my mind what I think the next portion's gonna be, and then I kind of start morphing my version with what actually happened. And then another storyline that I thought was really interesting in this book is that Neferet brings in some human helpers onto the campus of House of Night to basically make her professors angry. She just wants to create chaos and make everyone really uncomfortable and angry, and so she brings these human helpers in to be the assistants of some of the professors, and one of them is I think his name was Travis, and he is the helper for Lenobia, which is the horse instructor. And at first you think it's gonna be just, I don't know, you think Lenobia is going to hate him and stuff, and then you find out that they're kind of falling in love, and there's this whole different backstory of Lenobia, and she fell in love with a human. I don't know all the details because I think it was setting it up for another book, but it kind of goes into her past, and she has fallen in love with a human in her past, and I guess she got turned into a vampire and outlived him because she's like hundreds of years old or something, and she's falling for this human again, and he's this cowboy and his name is Travis, and he loves horses and she loves horses, and it is a really cute little relationship that's brewing, and I'm kind of excited about it. So I'm excited for that to be extended into the next book. And I think that the author, PC Cast and Kristen Cast, I think they're writing a Lenobia story. I think I saw it on sale for pre-order on barnesandnoble.com, but I'm not positive if I did, but I'm pretty sure I did. And if that's the case, I hope that it goes into the story of her and her first love, or elaborates on her and Travis's storyline. And then what else in this book? There's a whole storyline of the twins being in a fight like the whole book, which kind of bored me. I wasn't interested in their fight and the fact that they were not twins anymore. I don't know. It just, that kind of annoyed me. Dragon, I think, is like ridiculous. He is being so hard on Refim or whatever his name is, and it just annoyed me. But then at the end, he kind of makes like a good decision and kind of redeems himself a little bit. And oh my gosh, I do have to say one thing. One thing that totally annoys me to death out of these books. Every single time Zoe cries, and Zoe cries a lot in every one of these books. Zoe cries a lot. Every time Zoe cries, it talks about how she snots. So much. Every time she cries, it's like, and then she snotted, and only Heath knew how to take care of her when she was snotting. It's just the worst visual. Anyway. Other than that, I did really like this book. I read it really quickly. I love the House of Night books, and I'm glad that they're continuing to write them because I really enjoy them. That was my little double Glitterature review. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found at least one of these book reviews useful, and I will see you guys with my next video. Bye.